A great king was well loved by his people. Unfortunately, he developed a serious heart disease and needed a heart transplant. When the people heard this, they gathered outside the palace in front of the king's bedroom. It was such a touching sight to behold as the people were crying and shouting one another, "Take my heart, O my king." Oh, people loved the king so much. Everybody came and shouted, "Take my heart." The king was truly moved by the display of affection from his people, but he did not know whose heart he will take. For each one is saying, "Take my heart, my king." Finally, he told the crowd, "I'm going to throw down a feather from the bird. I will take the heart of the one on whom the feather lands." Then he threw down the feather on the crowd. It floated in the air for some time and gradually descended upon the people. But it could not land on anyone, because each one, while screaming, "Take my heart, O my king," would also blow the feather away. In other words, the love for the king is only in words, without the corresponding action and commitment. In the gospel this Sunday, Jesus says, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." Very clearly, the proof of the love of God is our obedience to his commandments. Jesus compressed all these commandments into one, namely the commandment of love. At the Lord's Supper, he declared, "A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you." In other words, if we really love God, we must follow all his commandments, particularly that of love of neighbor. The Apostle John is very clear and strong on this. If someone says, "I love God," but hates his brother, he is a liar. For whoever does not love a brother whom he has seen cannot love God whom he cannot see. This is true with many of the so-called nominal Christians. They loudly profess their love of God, but they also continue in their selfish ways, ignoring and inflicting harm on their neighbor. After all, like the people of the king in the story, it is easier to pronounce words of love, but it is a completely different thing to manifest this love in action of fidelity, generosity, and sacrifice. God said, "Thou shalt not kill." But what happens in this modern world? Killing babies has been legalized in many of the countries. Mother Teresa of Calcutta said, "If your mother can kill her own child, what is left but for us to kill each other?" Today is a Mother's Day that we all celebrate so wonderfully and honor and respect all our mothers. On this beautiful day, we need to reflect on the words of Mother Teresa of Calcutta. If a mother can kill her own child, what is left but for us to kill each other? This culture of death in so many ways in today's society are happening. And people, even though they don't come to church, but still they profess their faith. If you talk to all your children, maybe many of your children and grandchildren, if you talk to them, do they like God? They will say yes. Do they believe in? Of course, yes. Do they love Christ? Of course, yes. But do they want to be part of Christ, following him, coming to church, making the faith giving the faith action in their own life. And that's what many of the young people of the society are not ready to say yes. They believe that action is not there. One of the things in the life of Jesus is always beautiful is Jesus said, if you don't believe in me, see the action that I have done. Those actions are the witness to the fact that I am the Son of God. So Jesus took only one witness, not any of the people, but the action that he has done. As a God, he loved us. He would like to give action to those love, became a man, dwelt among us, walked in our street, did wonders, and so much love he had. For that love he died on the cross, trying to know the pain of us all. In order to bear our pain, he took it on the cross. So Jesus gave action to his love. Today is a Mother's Day, and so many mothers, when we reflect, give their life. They make so many sacrifices. They accept so many pain in order to help their own children. Once a child is born, they become sleepless. They cannot sleep. They have to take care of it. We all know that. And so much of pain and love they put into their children. And I think in long back, 10 years back, there was an earthquake in Gujarat, in India. And so many people died, and they were taking down all the bricks and devastated buildings, and they were taking down one by one. And there was a wonder. There was a lady, there was a mother. As they were taking down, there was a cry of a child. And immediately the workers were going fast because they had saved the child. And as they were taking down, they could finally see the mother leaning on and holding the baby inside her. So the mother is dead, but the child was saved. It was the mother's love. They will do anything for their own children, but how far to be honored. In modern society, the another culture of death is not taking care of the mothers. Perhaps there are good families in America I have gone, though they live alone. So many mothers are living alone, I know, but every day they call them. When they go for giving communion, they will be called at 3 o'clock. They will there, and the lady will take the phone and say, Father is here to give communion. I will talk to you later. And then when I talk to her, she said, every day 3 o'clock, my daughter will call me to check on how I am doing. There are so many families are doing it. That's great. But again, the culture of death. Back in India, we don't live individually. Like individual person, we don't live. My mother is always with my family, my brother's family. So that makes things easier. But here is different. But how far to be honored, to be take care of elderly parents, which is much more important. Jesus said, if you love me, keep up my commandments. We love our mother. That means we need to care for them. And that's what today Jesus says as we celebrate the 6th Sunday of Easter. Love should have action, not mere words. Lips are not enough. We need to take care of them in action. In the same way, people in the society, if you love Jesus, we have to be charitable towards the needy of the society. And if you love Jesus, it has to be in action, coming to church, professing Jesus as a community, and praising God as a community. And that's what Jesus wants from us. We all love Christ. Let our love be in action always.